The story of Indian national movement started with the revolt of 1857. The revolt of 1857 took place due to the imposition of unjust rules and regulations imposed on the Indian royals and their subjects. The revolt failed to bring good results for the Indians. But the Indians understood one thing. In order to liberate themselves from the British rule, they required to empower themselves. And as a result of which we see birth of different associations. For example, the Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, Indian Association, and the Indian National Congress under the leadership of Alan Octavian Hume. The Indian National Congress, the early leaders, took up the cause of inclusion of Indians in the Indian administrative system, cut in military expenditure, cut in land revenue, etc. Now, there was another group called extremists or the radicals who believed that there was no use of petition politics, rather they should demand Swaraj as it was their birthright. However, the two groups differed among themselves due to political ideology. Now we see Lord Curzon announced the Bengal partition in the year 1905 for administrative benefits. But the real motive was to curb the unity among the Bengali Hindus and the Bengali Muslims. Now, there was huge protest all over Bengal as a protest against the Bengal partition, and the movement came to be known as Swadeshi movement in Bengal, and in Andhra region it came to be known as Vande Mataram. Now in the year 1906 we see the birth of Muslim League. It was established in order to voice the grievances of the Muslims all over India. The First World War took place in the year 1914 and continued till 1919 and led to severe changes. Gandhiji appeared in India in the year 1915, and his active participation in Kheda, Champaran and Ahmedabad influenced the peasants and the mill workers all over India, and they felt that Gandhiji acted as a savior, as a messiah, and he would liberate the poor people of India from the unjust British rules and regulations. In the year 1919, Rowlatt Act was enacted, and as a result of this act we see there was freedom of expression, and police were given more power to torture the innocent Indians. As a protest, Gandhiji gave the call for Hartal. The Punjab people organized a peaceful resistance movement against the government in Jallianwala Bagh, but General Dyer, without any prior warning, fired at the innocent mob, which resulted in death of huge number of people. The whole nation was in shock. Rabindranath Tagore refused to accept knighthood as a protest. Next we see the birth of non-cooperation movement in the year 1920. Non-cooperation movement took up the cause of Khilafat issue, Punjab wrong, and the demand for Swaraj. Huge number of people became a part of the non-cooperation movement, and they refused to follow the orders given by the British officials, and also started using indigenous products. Large number of women also became a part of the movement. The non-cooperation movement was suddenly called off due to the Chauri Chowra incident in the year 1922 because of the death of 22 policemen caused by infuriated mob. Next we see birth of the civil disobedience movement in the year 1930, where we see Gandhiji breaking the salt law. He marched from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi in order to manufacture salt with the help of seawater. Next we see the Quit India movement. Quit India movement, Gandhiji gave the call, do or die. The British were asked to leave the country, otherwise the Indians would offer strong resistance against the British. Along with Gandhiji, there were also other leaders like Bhagat Singh, Azad Hind Fauj created by Subhash Chandra Bose, who all believed in liberation of India from British rule. But their way of revolting was different. They believed in revolutionary tactics. Now in the year 1940 we see Muslim League demanded for separate nation for the Muslims. Now Indian National Congress failed to mobilize public opinion among the Muslims. There was a huge protest all over India. Cabinet mission came to India. Cabinet mission failed to solve the issue, and Direct Action Day was observed on 16th August 1946. Next we see interim government formed in the year 1946 under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru. Next, in the year 1947, Lord Mountbatten came to India in order to transfer power. Finally, in the year 1947, by the Government of India Act, power was finally transferred to two Dominion states, India and Pakistan. Thank you.